what about multiplayer? Should you buy Call of Duty World War II? I put out a poll recently on Twitter, and it was almost 50-50 as to whether or not you guys did or didn't have Call of Duty World War II. So I thought I'd put this video together for all those guys that are on the edge, maybe you're waiting for Christmas, or you're just not too sure as to whether or not you should pick up COD World War II. For those of you guys that are watching this that do have the game, this is also going to be like my review of all of the games. So campaign, multiplayer, and zombies. Something I've never done before, but I think with so many great games out there at the moment, I want to give you my honest opinions, at least of this initial launch, which I know has been a little bit dodgy, especially for multiplayer, but what I think about the game as a whole, covering everything for you guys, and maybe you come away deciding that you should or shouldn't pick up the game. And you can also let me know what you guys are thinking of it if you've got it down below in the comment section. So if you go on to enjoy this kind of video, give it a thumbs up. I don't know why I've got my headphones around here. I'm not really listening to anything in this video, but give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think of COD World War II. And without further ado, let's kick it off first of all with the campaign. So first of all, there's going to be no spoilers in this video for any of you guys that are wondering, but the campaign was very well received, at least here on my channel. I think it was one of the most followed campaign walkthroughs I've done for a very, very long time. And as someone that has always played the Call of Duty campaigns to upload it as a walkthrough to YouTube, this was the campaign I really got into and was sucked into just for my own reasons. Obviously, being Call of Duty World War II, it was a fictional rather than a non-fictional story, or at least based as much as possible upon facts and actual things that happened during World War II. And I was completely suckered in. A lot of the Call of Duty campaigns, you find yourself shooting waves of enemies over and over. It's very nonsensical, doesn't really feel like you're doing very much. But in a game like this, where you're trying to hold down a command post, or break through the enemy trenches, or protect your comrades and also your platoon in a situation where you have to take that one shot to make sure that they survive, it was very, very intense, and I was gripped the whole way through. If you haven't seen it, my favorite mission was actually where you went undercover as a Nazi officer, and you actually had to work your way around one of the Nazi buildings, pretending to be a Nazi officer, looking for another Nazi officer, whilst not giving away your undercover disguise, whilst not giving away the fact that you were actually French. It was an amazing, amazing mission, and just was a nice break from the shooting of people to actually thinking about what you had to do, and really gave you an idea of how tense and scary, specifically being an undercover agent was, especially during times like World War II. The campaign for me, I would give it a solid 9 out of 10. I think the only reason I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10 was the fact that it's a little bit short, and I know COD campaigns are pretty short anyway, but I just wanted more, which is only a good thing. And I was also really disappointed when I found out that it was only single player. When we first got those leaked images for Call of Duty World War II, and we knew the whole of the campaign would be based around like your close fellow members of your platoon, I really hoped they'd offer even up to 4-player campaign. I think that would have been amazing. Obviously, it would have made the development a lot harder, but I think it would have made it 10 out of 10 for me, and it would have been the perfect Call of Duty campaign. Highly recommend it. If you play COD for the campaign, it is a must. So next up, zombies. Now, I love zombies, and I've been playing zombies for years and years, but I wouldn't consider myself a veteran, hardcore, Easter egg, cracker zombies player. I play it because I enjoy it, and I play it because I love playing it and uploading it for you guys. If you like the Call of Duty Treyarch Zombies experience, it is very, very close. And in terms of some things being switched out, you've got jolts rather than points. You also go around giving yourself power up through injections rather than drinking bottles of different colas to get yourself perks. But the premise of how you do that is very, very similar. Rather than Juggernog in this game, you're actually going to buy yourself armor, which increasingly goes up each time you buy the armor, which gives you 3 shields, which is 3 additional hits by a zombie once you go down to red health. So that works a little bit differently, but actually I think is a very nice change, and if you're good at zombies, means you can survive for a long, long time with spending the minimum amount of points, because it only starts off at 500 jolts. So buying armor is initially very cheap, going all the way up to 10,000 jolts. So if you're using it a lot, it's going to become very expensive very quickly. Now, for the first time ever in a zombies Call of Duty game, there's actually almost a tutorial mode for a basic Easter egg that you can follow along. Now, I completed this through a few other YouTubers before the game had even come out at a review event, the first time we'd ever played zombies. And obviously we're all very good and understood the zombies world, so we could go through it step by step step and revive each other. But I think it's a great entry point for any guys out there that have played zombies casually, maybe seen some of the Easter egg stuff that goes on, but want to find a nice place to jump in and understand how to do these very cool things in game that doesn't involve just shooting zombies. You're transferring different parts of machines around the map. You're going to ritual areas and killing zombies to bring in their souls. Cool different things like that normally, if you didn't really get involved in Easter eggs, are very, very fun. And the tutorial mode is a great way of getting involved and starting that experience for yourself. At the moment, there's only 2 zombies map available. The main zombies map, which you will have seen early gameplay of here on my channel, which has like almost 3 million views now. A very, very fun map, and maybe not the biggest map in the world, but a nice loadout where you can actually go underground as well as overground. And then there's also a smaller map where I uploaded a challenge sort of survival episode, which also has little Easter eggs. You can actually get to the mystery box, which is absolutely insane. I've just seen some YouTubers do that recently. So not too many zombies maps, but for the launch of a COD, that is typically what you get anyway. If you like zombies, you really like this experience. If you've wanted to get a little bit deeper into the zombies experience, again, a great point to head into zombies. For me, the thing that lets it down is probably the coloring and the brightness of the game. It is very dark, very eerie, and I know that's what they're trying to play on. It's almost like a horror zombies experience, but I would have liked it to be in a little bit more colorful, a little bit brighter, just so visually it wasn't quite as bland as you were playing through the zombies map and working up your different rounds. If you have played zombies in World War II and you want to share your experience with people down below in the comment section, please do so. Give them some tips, give them your thoughts as well. But I definitely really enjoyed it and can't wait for more zombies maps to come out with the rest of the DLC. This zombies also introduces a class-based system where you can actually get different power-ups that you can use, and those will recharge over time. Some of them allow you to go invisible for a certain amount of time. Some of them allow you to have unlimited ammo and just shoot constantly. This is really cool when playing with your friends because you can all take different roles, and it allows you to have your own different parts where you know if someone's going down, you can grab the person that's got invisibility to come along and lift them up. Or if you're in a situation you got to destroy a load of zombies in a tight-knit situation, that's where I came in because I was often using the unlimited ammo ability, and you can just spray into the zombies and mow them all down. So nice little additions there, which makes you feel like your own individual different player, especially when you're playing with other people as well. I really like that. So the campaign, great. Zombies, really good fun. What about multiplayer? I'm gonna be honest, I am a critical Call of Duty multiplayer player. Now, you wouldn't maybe think that because I'm always so positive about the new Call of Duty game, and I always end up playing quite a lot. Obviously, didn't play too much Infinite Warfare. Now, I'm going to give you this from my perspective. So from my perspective, my favorite Call of Duty games are the Black Ops series. I like it when the pacing of the game is a little bit slower, the time to kill is a little bit longer, the weapons have a little bit more recoil. I like it when there's a little bit of skill in controlling the recoil, and I like big, powerful kill streaks. I love it when I go on a big kill streak and I can go to town on the enemies. Well, what is the World War II multiplayer like? Now, if you've got the game already and you're still watching this video, you'll know that it's been plagued with issues, connection issues, headquarters isn't even working. Obviously, these things are being fixed come Christmas time. Fingers crossed everything will be perfect. I'm sure it will be. But it has definitely been played with a lot of issues, which if you don't have a game is good news because you kind of missed that. However, if we ignore that for a moment and just strip away all the issues and think about the actual game, there are some great things going on here. Supply drops can be earned through simply playing games, and you get the chance to win a supply drop just through a lottery almost system at the end of a game. If it lands on you, boom, you got yourself a free supply drop. You got daily, weekly, and special challenges where if you complete them, you get yourself bonus XP, supply drop, social score. The rewards will vary depending on which one you complete, but these are a great way to log on every single day, get more supply drops, get more XP, and keep on playing. You've also got contracts that you can use to buy with armory credits, which you get from opening supply drops, being near other people as they open up supply drops. These challenges are typically a little bit harder, but can give you rare supply drops, loads of XP, and are a great challenge for those of you guys that like to try and get, for example, like 35 kills in TDM in 10 minutes. You've got to go on a boss TDM, and you've only got 10 minutes to do it from the moment you start playing TDM after bringing out the contract. So pretty much if you don't get it the first game, you are screwed and you will have failed the contract. But it's a good challenge at the same time. If you do it I think you go ahead and get yourself several rare supply drops. So I like that. It was a great reason to come back and play. Now, a lot of these aspects they've taken from Destiny, because Destiny has great replayability. I mean, arguably Destiny 2 not so much, but we won't talk about that in this video. Because on top of that, not only are you logging in each day, doing the contracts, but you've also got the headquarters space, which I'm sure you've seen already, which is the social space you spend all of your time in between games. And I just leave my game on in the social space, hanging out with people, doing the odd 1v1, checking out the challenges, watching other people open supply drop. It's a great reason to keep on playing the game and just honestly keep your console on as well. And it makes you then jump into more games because you've always got it on. The headquarters space is an amazing addition to Call of Duty. It's probably why a lot of the server issues have actually come about, is because I think having everyone connected online all the time through that headquarters system has just screwed up the servers. But it is a great space. I'm sure all of you guys that have the game will agree with me as well. It is really good fun. So all of this is before you've even jumped into a game. Now, for me, the beta experience was amazing. I was genuinely addicted to Call of Duty, and I hadn't felt that all of last year, really, with Infinite Warfare, as I'm sure a lot of you guys felt as well. For me, this game closest resembles Call of Duty World at War, funnily enough, not just because of time here, but because of the time to kill, obviously the weapon damage, the kick, and that's our old Call of Duty, that's Call of Duty 5, so a lot of you guys may not have played that. So I'd say the closest thing from then is probably Black Ops 1 maybe, but again, some of you guys may not have played all of those games back then. You obviously don't have double jump, you're not exo boosting around, you only have a single jump, and as a result, it's all boots on the ground, and that feels really nice. Core gameplay mechanics when it comes to Call of Duty. All the weapons are very, very good, and you can choose an LMG, an SMG, or an assault rifle. Whichever one you go for, you're going to have a lot of fun. Sniping is especially fun, and I honestly think sniping is quite easy, or easier, in Call of Duty World War 2, but for those of you guys that don't like being sniped, I haven't found myself being sniped too much to a point where I get annoyed. It basically just caters for everyone. Now, you do have different divisions. This is a new addition to Call of Duty. 5 editions in total. You can only put a suppressor on an SMG in Call of Duty World War 2. And for that, you must be using the Airborne division. So all of these 5 divisions basically give you different unique ways to play. And what they've done, Sledgehammer Games, which is quite smart, almost annoying, but they've taken the core mechanics of Call of Duty and separated them mainly into basic training. Basic training is like a single perk that you can bring with you. So for example, if you want to have dead silence, but you also want to have the ability to strafe from side to side really quickly, so stock, but you also want to have a silence suppressor, you cannot have all 3 of those things. You could get the suppressor from the Airborne division, yes, but then you could only get yourself dead silence or the ability to strafe by choosing a basic perk. So you can only have one of them. It means that you really want to have multiple classes for different situations, and it means you can't be the godly player that has all the perks. Specialist is definitely not a thing in this game, or all the attachments in the game. You need to think about your loadout very, very specifically. It's good because as long as you play to the style that you've created with your class, then you're going to be very successful. But it's also kind of annoying if you're in a position where you wish you weren't running around like an elephant and you wish you had dead silence, but you're using an assault rifle, so you know you need to have stock. And as a result, you're kind of limited by how you play the game. I definitely say the play style of this game is very slow. I'm a free-for-all player. I used to win Black Ops 3 free-for-alls in 2, 3, 4 minutes where it was hyper quick. A lot of these free-for-all games are rolling on to 7, 8, 9 minutes, and it's still a 30-kill goal, just as it has been in all the other Call of Duty games. So it's definitely a little bit slower paced. But all in all, once the connection issues have been sorted out, the connection, at least for me, and the hit detection has been very, very nice indeed. The kill streaks, I'd say, aren't too strong. If you don't like being pounded by kill streaks, you probably won't in this game. It's hard to build up kill streaks, and they're not very, very good. They're decent, but they're not going to absolutely crush the enemies like, for example, the Raps would in Black Ops 3. So it's very much a more of a evened out multiplayer experience, but everyone's really enjoying it that I'm seeing on Twitter, and I am very, very addicted as well because of all these extra reasons to come back in, all these different class loadouts I want to try. And obviously supply drops, I'll touch on it finally here. You can only get weapon variants with no stat changes, but the visual changes you can get from rare or uncommon, rare, legendary, epic, and then finally heroic is amazing. The heroic weapons look great. Loads of you guys are tweeting me heroic weapons and I'm so happy with them. And it's a cool addition to make your gun look a lot better, but then not be more overpowered just because it's a rarer variant, which I think a lot of people wanted, which makes a nice change from what they did in Advanced Warfare, which is also what Sledgehammer Games made. In terms of negative points for multiplayer, for me personally, I find myself getting shot in the back and the side quite a lot, which means I end up having to run dead silent so I can hear where enemies are. There's no real visual cue for where people are, especially if you're playing a very busy mode like TDM or Domination. You can very easily get caught off guard, which is definitely frustrating if you want to move around quite a lot, but find yourself in a situation where you just can't really control everyone that's around you. And I'm used to that control in games like Black Ops 3, where I can just hear everything, but then arguably maybe that was a little bit too overpowered, and hearing all the footsteps in Black Ops 3 was a little bit too much. So it's whichever way you want to take that. Personally, I'm not too keen on it, and if you guys are used to being able to hear stuff as well in game, in free for all it works well when you're the only person, but when you've got your teammates running around in all the other modes, it's a bit chaotic and you do get shot in the back a little bit more than I would like to see. So what would I review multiplayer? I think I'd give it maybe an 8.7 out of 10, which I would say is one of the better multiplayer experiences for sure. I'm having a lot of fun, I'm grinding, I'm prestiging, and I think it's only a good thing when you look at a game and see how many people are playing and how much more you're playing every day. That is a great sign. Campaign, amazing. Zombies, really fun. Multiplayer, also very good. Bear in mind it's a little bit slower and isn't the rushing around, jumping everywhere that maybe you've seen in the last few years, but it's very satisfying and rewarding when you go on big kill streaks. There's so much to do outside of the game as well as inside the game. So there we go, guys. I've never really done one of these videos before, but I thought it'd be a great chance to just sit down, talk about what I think about the game, and let you guys that are probably on the edge of seeing my videos, which are obviously going to be the best parts of the game, but aren't too sure about everything else in the game and how that's panning out as well. So let me know if you found this video useful. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this video. And if you do go and pick it up for Christmas, let me know. Let me know if this video has helped you out and if you go on to enjoy the game. Hope you really enjoyed watching, guys. I will give World War II a big fat thumbs up. It's a solid Call of Duty, and hopefully a really solid next year for Call of Duty World War II as well. We're going to be getting the usual 4 map packs with new zombie modes, war game mode maps as well, so loads of great things on the way. It's an exciting year for World War II. So guys, thank you for watching. This has been my review and my opinion of Call of Duty World War II, and I'll see you guys with more gameplays, more videos tomorrow. Goodbye, guys.